the house footprint that you see at the bottom of the screen here, what I've done is to turn it into a polyline. The reason for that is that once it's a polyline, I can offset it to get the path that is normally around the perimeter of the house. It's usually 900 mil wide. There'll be some more paving that's going to run through here and around, but we'll deal with that in a moment. To create that second line indicating the edge of the path, it's pick this line here. What I will do is change my drawing colour to red so that you can see us creating these shapes and entities. So it's modify, offset. The current offset distance is 900, but you could change that by right-clicking and changing it. But the object to offset is this polyline, point to the side, so it's up, and there should be an object offset. Of course there is an object offset. Let me finish. Why I was hesitating, of course, is that there's now two objects, one on top of the other there. Because we offset a white line, it appears white. Even though I had changed my drawing colour to red, because I was offsetting an existing entity, it went at the same colour. So now we have a path running through here. Now time to start thinking about use of spaces. Here's a north arrow. Now I've brought the north arrow in from the library, details, and I've scrolled down to north, and I've scrolled through here to find a north symbol, and I've chosen that one and brought that in. I've clicked on it, and by using the handle I've rotated in the direction of north. So this area here is a logical place with a north-facing aspect. It's out of the shade of the building, so once it's properly once it is properly screened with some planting in this area here and possibly some other screening, we'll have a sun trap in that area, and we can get hopefully this plant to grow and perhaps another tall tree through here to provide some summer shade if that's necessary. So we need a circle in there to indicate the entertaining area. And over here we might put some grass, and in the middle there some water feature. Now what I've done is put a construction line through here to centre my water feature on, and I did that by draw, construction line. I moved over here and picked the midpoint so that I could latch onto the midpoint there. Then I put ortho on and click and hit the angle there is 90, and we now have a red line, a construction line over the top. We don't need two of them there, so I'll delete that. I think I might have put three there. Yeah, I did. So there's our construction line running through there. Now to place circles and to make life easier for the construction team, it makes a whole lot of sense to place a circle and give it, in fact, place all the entities using a grid. Having an electronic grid laying over the design makes placement really easy and straightforward, and you can get, by clicking and dragging out, you can get circles in this case of nice, easy to manage distances. So let's demonstrate. So let's put the circle down to indicate the entertaining area. I'll right click on the desktop without selecting anything and go to drafting settings. I've set my electronic grid at 500 in the X and 500 in the Y with a bold step of 5. If I turn the grid on with the, I'll take ortho off for the moment, turn grid on by clicking in this status line, you may now be able to see the grid. As I zoom in, you can see there's the bold step. There are five small steps between them. So what we now want to do is put a circle down, and I'll choose a radius, or sorry, a diameter of 6,500. So draw a circle, center diameter. I'll just put my circle anywhere at the moment, for the moment. I'll just pop it down and drag out, and the diameter is 6,500. And there's a circle. What I now want to do is to position it accurately on the grid. I can do that by clicking in the center of the circle, then coming down to the snap option here, And as I move around, I hope you can see that it's going click, 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 and it's locking into the grid, so I can put it down there. So now the red circle sits in the correct position. And I can do the same with the circle on the other side. Its diameter is 8,000, so let's draw a circle, centre diameter. Now, because I've already got a circle down, I can find the centre point of the existing one, but we'll do the same again. We'll just pop it down, the diameter will make 8,000, and it's good practice to learn to select it. The snap is on, so we can pick the centre there and just move it into position. So our two broader circles are in position. I can draw a rectangle, and remember that the snap is on and the grid is on, so it becomes very easy just to draw my rectangle onto those points. In a similar fashion, very easy to put the circle that's going to indicate the water feature can be put down in the same way. So let's draw circle. I'll go centre radius, and we can pop it down and then sort of drag out and move it into position. Might have a water feature which uses two circular patterns. That's up to you. So our design is taking shape. We now are starting to lay out some spaces. Clearly we'll have paving running through here. We need to work out something on the left and on the right, and in this area here, but we've got plenty of opportunities now for placing. We'll need some screening. We clearly need to screen the vegetable area, and you can do that very simply by right-clicking, going to Drafting Settings, and change the grid now to 100 by 100, so we have a much, much finer grid, and that would enable you to use the Draw Rectangle tool again and to put a screen in, like so. One screen there and another screen sitting somewhere like so. Maybe you want to go further out because you want to put bins or whatever behind there. So now our vegetable garden is screened by a couple of wooden screens. So can you see that the grid and snapping to the grid is a very handy design feature when you're laying areas out as we are here.